Good evening, my good people of Ondo State and family members of our departed colleague and compatriot, Dr. Wahab Adeburu. A while ago, I was briefed of his demise. The state had lost one of its most dutiful commissioners. As you all know, Dr. Wahab Adeburu was not only our Commissioner for Health, he was, until his demise, Chairman, Interministerial Committee of the State on COVID-19. Although I had earlier instructed the Commissioner of Information to issue a release on this unfortunate incident, but I find it compelling to address, most importantly, members of the family and generally people or my people of Ondo State through this medium for obvious reasons. As you're all aware, just on Monday, I disclosed my COVID-19 status following the medical report handed over to me by Dr. Wahab Adeburu himself. I am still on self-isolation. I share in your pains and grief at the demise of this great man. This is a shared emotional moment. My heart is with the family, friends, and everybody. To me, those who have had cause to work closely with Dr. Adeburu, this is not the best of time. We have all lost a friend, we have lost a colleague, we have lost a gentleman par excellence, and a dedicated professional whose commitment to assign responsibility is legendary. I'm personally pained by this loss. My family is in prayers with all of us and all of you, colleagues of the late commissioner, friends, individuals, members of the family. We know we have all lost a dependable ally with a fatherly mien. While praying that God grant us all the fortitude to bear this loss, it is my fervent belief that Dr. Wahab Adeburu will be remembered for his numerous private and official endeavors, which has distinguished him for encomiums. Wahab will be sorely missed by all. May Allah grant him Al-Jannah Firdaus. Thank you.
Good morning, viewers, and welcome to Today in the News on Vanguard Live. My name is Damlola Ogmushaki, and I'm with my co-host Precious Chukudi. Here on Today in the News, we read and give in-depth analysis on some of the stories making waves across Nigeria. And of course, this morning we'll be starting with the front page of Vanguard. But before that, Precious are out yesterday. You know, this week we've not really discussed like the day and all
we
that.
had a lot of back-to-back, and then it's like the weekend, so everybody's trying to ensure that they have everything they need to just.
So, what's your plan for the weekend?
Really, I can't tell for now.
Okay, let's start with the front page of the Vanguard. Vanguard newspaper, rather. On the front page, we have COVID-19. Federal government goes spiritual. Allays Christian Association of Nigeria Interreligious Council on prayers and fasting. And the rider we have a Sultan, Christian Association of Nigeria President, urged Muslims, Christians to pray, fast for 3 days. We are not getting enough samples, and this is coming from the Presidential Task Force. And passengers who sneeze on board will be treated as COVID-19 cases, says Aero Airline. Kano completely lifts lockdown. You can see details of these on page 7. On page 10, we have fear in Ondo as Health Commissioner dies of COVID-19. On page 13, Agbakoba distances self from new political force. Edo governorship, APC unleashes Oyegun, Oshomole, Ganduje, 46 others against Obaseki. And you can see details of these on page 9. On page 12, Buhari suspends Nigeria Social Insurance Trust Fund, MD, some fund, 3 directors and 8 others. You can see details of these on page 12. And on the stories above, on page 5, we have Nigerian Labour Congress, United Labour Congress, others reject fuel price hike, demand reversal, says it will kill businesses, worsen poverty level, as Petroleum Product Price Regulatory Agency, PPPRA, gives reasons for new price regime. And lastly, on the front page of Vanguard, we have Dubai police extradite Hushpuppi to United States. And from the front page of Vanguard, we move straight to the Nation newspaper.
And on the front page of the Nation newspaper, we have APC consultations begin as leaders meet Tinubu Akonde. Rider, we have party's caretaker, extraordinary convention committee visits Southwest. We have no differences to be sorted out. We just had consultations, and those consultations are about how our party, the APC, will continue to be a progressive party. Stories minute, we have brace for rise in virus cases, minister alerts Nigerians. And also the rider, infected youth spreading COVID-19, says NCDC. You can see more on that story on page 5 of the Nation. And the stories above, Ondo Health Commissioner dies. That story can be seen on page 7. Kogi Agency Chief gone. On page 4, UAE police extradite Hushpuppi to US. And lastly, on the front page of the Nation, we have NSITF tackles Ngige over suspension of MD, authors, and aids of VIPs to be barred from airports. You can see that story on page 7 and 8. And away from the Nation, move straight to the Punch newspaper.
On the front page of the Punch newspaper, we have a federal government warns medical directors over rising death in hospitals. And the riders, we have a treat emergency cases on stretchers if there are no bed spaces, minister tells the CMDs. Coronavirus spreading faster than system can handle, federal government warns Nigerians. Ondo commissioner dies, Akeredolu's wife aide tests positive for COVID-19. The details of this can be found on page 2 and 9. Pages 2 and 9. On page 5, we have a man arrested for attacking Osun doctor patients, vandalizing hospitals. On page 8, we have passengers with cold malaria won't board, and this is coming from Aero contractors. On page 5, Chinese couple lock up 8 Nigerian employees for 4 months. On page 7, Dubai hands over Hushpuppi accomplice to FBI. And on the stories above, on page 10, we have an APC caretaker panel visits Tinubu Akonde on peace mission. And on page 25, we have petrol price, Nigerian Labour Congress demand reversal, NECA backs the federal government. And lastly, on the front page of the Punch newspaper, we have Nigeria's debt profile. It's 28.63 trillion naira, says DMO. And that's all we have on the paper review for this morning. We'll be going on a short break now, and when we return, we'll be analyzing some of the stories on these front pages of the daily. Stay with us, we'll be back. Alright, welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is Today in the News on Vanguard Live. My name is Damlola Obushaki, and I'm with my co-host, Precious Chukudi. And of course, we'll be going straight to the paper analysis. And of course, we'll be starting with the story on the front page of Vanguard newspaper. So the federal government on Thursday went spiritual in its bid to contain the spread of coronavirus pandemic, saying it has partnered with a Nigerian Inter-Religious Council, that's NIREC, to declare a season of fasting and prayer in the country. They declared 3 days fasting and prayers for God to put an end to the COVID-19 pandemic, saying divine intervention is really needed in this COVID-19 season. Meanwhile, the Presidential Task Force on COVID-19 President, that's Mr. Boss Mustafa, disclosed that schools have not been reopened, explained that only those in exit classes have been asked to return for revision in order to prepare for writing their terminal examination. And still talking about COVID-19, according to the SGF, President of Christian Association of Nigeria, will be directing Muslims and Christians adherents all over the country to go in for a period of fasting and prayer, and the NIREC will announce the details, and SGF urged all Nigerians to participate in this effort to seek intervention. The National Coordinator of Presidential Task Force on COVID-19, that's Dr. Sani Aliu, has raised alarm over low turnout for testing by citizens, saying the country's testing capacity is underutilized. Meanwhile, the Kano State Governor, Governor Abdullahi Ganduje, has announced total lifting of lockdown in the state following a decline in the rate of coronavirus pandemic, in the rate of transmission. Rather, I say is that civil servants in the state from grade level 12 are to return to work as from Monday, 6th July 2020. And still on this story, we have Ado Sanusi, the CEO of Aero Contractors, has advised intending passengers who have cold or malaria not to come to the airports. So he said passengers seen sneezing or coughing on the plane will be isolated and treated as a potential COVID-19 patients. Reacting to this, I don't know whether to say it's funny, because looking at this period, this is rainy season, and this is the time that you see, even before the COVID-19 season, you see a lot of people coughing, sneezing, cold. Now saying that anybody seen on the airplane that is just seen sneezing will be isolated and treated as a potential COVID-19 patient. I don't know.
Well, you can't sort of blame them.
I'm not blaming them, actually.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, that because at the end of the day, they're trying as much as they can not to spread it, to containerize it. So that's the reason why naturally, if you have cough or whatever, you should take care of yourself before even embarking on any journey. It's really important that you take care of yourself so that you don't even spread whatever you have aside from COVID, it could be a communicable disease or something.
We actually need to look at it and also protect others. And I think that's what they are just trying to do, looking at the way the case keeps increasing daily. The way it keeps increasing, it's really, really alarming.
Yes,
and see that Nigerians are not, they are not really caring, they are not bothering. You see, when you go outside, you hardly see people with their face masks. And even when you see them putting it on, they don't really use it to cover their nose.
And they put it on their
just
chin.
Put it on their chin.
Or some even just put it in their pockets.
Even the hand sanitizers, I don't see people using hand sanitizers again. So,
alright, moving on. We'll take the APC unleashes Oyegun Oshomole Ganduje 46 others against Obaseki. And the ruling of Progressive Congress APC has appointed Kano State Governor Dr. Abdullahi Umar Ganduje to chair its 49-member National Campaign Council for the Edo State Governorship election. Imo State Governor Hope Uzodinma will serve as Deputy Chairman with Mr. Abbas Brimo as Secretary. The party named two of its former national chairmen, Chief John Odige Oyegun and Comrade Adams Oshomole, in the campaign council. Both men have been at loggerheads in the lead up to the APC primary election for the incumbent in Edo State, with Odige Oyegun rooting for the incumbent, that's Mr. Godwin Obaseki, and who had since been defected to the People's Democratic Party (PDP). Oshomole on his part allegedly worked for the emergence of Pastor Osagi Izeyamo, who is now the party candidate. When I saw this story on Twitter, a lot of people were saying no, that they don't want that Oyegun, John Oyegun, to be part of the campaign committee. And I'm like, if the party has said they want him and Oshomole, it's good.
It's good.
So let them do whatever they want to do. It's what the party has decided that they would like to do. Or moving on to other stories.
Okay, so moving on to other stories, we have a fear in Ondo as commissioner dies of COVID-19. So yesterday, fear gripped Ondo as the health commissioner, as Ondo State Health Commissioner, that's Dr. Wahab Adeburu, died of COVID-19. Family sources said the late commissioner had been battling with chronic diabetes before contracting the virus. Meanwhile, a neighbor who spoke in confidence revealed that the commissioner died in line of duty, noting that his death had nothing to do with COVID-19. Members of the House of Assembly also who accompanied Governor Akeredolu to Abuja for his submission of his re-election nomination form, and some traditional rulers who visited the governor to endorse him for a second term were yet to undergo the test as advised to the governor. And if you can recall, it was announced that the governor, that's Governor Akeredolu, and his wife has tested positive to COVID-19. Also, the Chief Medical Director of the University of Medical Science, Dr. Oluwole, has tested positive to COVID-19, and another cabinet member of Osun State Executive Council tested positive for COVID-19. Meanwhile, reacting to the death of Dr. Wahab Adeburu, the Information and Orientation Commissioner, Donald Ojukwu, declared today as work-free day to mourn Adeburu. And APC in Ondo State described Adeburu as a party man to the core. May so rest in peace.
Yeah,
it's a very sad one. But looking at these, the House of Assembly members who accompanied Governor Akeredolu to Abuja, to submit his re-election bid, and some of the traditional rulers that visited him, not going to, not submitting themselves to be tested for COVID-19. I think it's really, maybe should I say they have the reasons, but I think it's really not a nice thing coming from their side, because a lot of people are looking forward to. They are looking at them.
They should submit themselves.
They really need to submit themselves. If what you do, that people will follow.
There was a video that surfaced online when the governor, I think he sneezed or something, and that was when a bunch of people around him and were hailing him as because of his coming back and all those kind of things. And I'm like, these same people too who are around the governor, the fact that the video even surfaced online should even, if you're part of those people, you should even give credence to the fact that you need to go and get yourself checked. Because the governor is asymptomatic, and which means that he's not even feeling any form of sickness. He's not feeling anything, but he has it. So now he has been asked to self-isolate. So that's the same way I feel like everybody on that same that was hailing him, and when he sneezed should go and get themselves checked. It's really important. So move on to Dubai police extradite Hushpuppi to United States. Alleged criminal mastermind Raymond Balode Abbas, known as Hushpuppi, has been extradited from the United Arab Emirates to the United States. And according to a statement by the Dubai police, in which the U.S. Federal Bureau of Investigation extended its gratitude to the UAE crime unit for its role in apprehending and extraditing Hushpuppi. And in June, the Dubai police had arrested Hushpuppi and Olalekan Jacob Onle, known as Woodbury, and 10 others in an operation tagged for Fox Hunt. That's Operation Fox Hunt, and the suspects were accused of committing crimes outside the UAE, including money laundering, cyber fraud, hacking, criminal impersonation, and scamming of individuals, also banking fraud and identity theft. And before his arrest, Hushpuppi had gained fame on social media for his outlandish display of wealth.
Should I say, okay, before this, he is a role model. No, let me use past tense. He was a role model to a lot of people on social media, saying, I want to be like him, I want to have I want to have the type of money he has, the clothes, the shoes and everything. But now that this is coming out, we have a lot of Nigerians blaming him on social media. So sometimes I just look at, you try to wonder how Nigerians' their mind really works. It's as in I don't
it's just one of all these things. Some people just see people who are really rich and glorify them and say, oh, Baba, after you, now you, say all those kind of things that you're wondering, like, you don't even know how this person is making their money until they start to be like investigations, and then you realize that these people are not clean, and they are involved in shady deals, and then you realize that now this is time I want to disassociate myself. When the news broke that he was arrested by the Dubai police, his following on social media started to drop. People started to unfollow. Some people started to delete their comments on his page. Those people that would say, Baba, after you, now you, all those kinds of. There was a time way back that he posted something, and one guy was telling him stop showing off. Another guy said leave him alone and all of that, and I think he credited the guy about ₦1 million and saying that some of you that don't know what you're saying, this is how you miss your blessings and stuff like that. And every time he's always saying, God will put us to shame.
And he's always encouraging youth on social media.
Yes.
Telling them to keep working hard. I think I saw something like that. Keep working hard and you'll be blessed.
And so, like, the number of working hard, is this how he made all his money buying? So, and this is a good one too. Seeing that there are a lot of. I saw a story on Twitter of how a young man was recounting how his father, died as a result of being swindled his pension. How many years that man had worked, and then having some of these kind of people like Hushpuppi swindled him of his hard-earned money.
We have some people who actually are soft-minded. When this kind of thing happens, they just feel like that's the end. And you see a lot of them, they end up committing suicide. And we have some people who just say, okay, I'll work hard and I'll still, I can still make it. But what of those who have died as a result of this fraudulent activities? So it's a good one. It's really a good one. It's really okay. So moving on from that story, we have the story of Nigerian Labour Congress, United Labour Congress, and others reject fuel price hike and demand a reversal. So Lagos organized labor yesterday rejected the new pump price of fuel announced by PPPRA and demand immediate reversal, contending that the new price amid COVID-19 pandemic will kill businesses and worsen poverty level across the country. In a separate statement, that was insisted that the hike in the pump price of petrol from 121 naira to 143.80 at a time when Nigerians and others and businesses were struggling to cope with the negative consequences of COVID-19 pandemic was the height of insensitivity by the government. NLC in a statement by its president argued that PPPRA contradicted themselves when it said that the latest price increase described as an advisory was meant to regulate a product that government had claimed had been deregulated. That this new price of petrol was announced with the approval of the board of PPRA. With a United Labour Congress. United Labour Congress in a statement also said that its general secretary argued that the price hike of the petrol products at this pandemic period, therefore that it was really insensitive, that therefore putting more burden on the working people and the unemployed who are finding it difficult to make ends meet. That is the height of insensitivity on the part of the government that pretends to claim to being a progressive. Dupeg also said that of course that the price is insensitive, and the PPRA General Manager Corporate Service, Mr. Kimchi Apollo, said that as a result of the gradual opening of the lockdown of the economy worldwide, a surge was recorded in the global demand for premium motor spirits, also known as petrol, which caused the price of commodity to rise. I think I understand that where they are coming from, that Nigerians, this period is not really the time for them to increase prices of things, because looking at it, when you want to get foodstuffs in the market, you see that something that maybe you're getting for just naira before, now you're getting it for 3 naira and all that. So things keep increasing, and now we're talking about petrol, something that many people can't really do without. Like in my own neighborhood, considering the electricity in Nigeria now, in my area now, for 5 days we've not had lights. So we keep fueling our generator. And now that the price has really increased now, of course, definitely what I was getting for 15 litre, I'll be getting it for less than maybe 13 litres or so. This is really causing Nigerians to really react and saying that they really, really don't like this, which means that next month, there's every possibility that you might wake up and see that the price of petrol is now 150 naira.
So, people were saying that, people's opinion, they're saying that could it be that the increase in premium motor spirits is as a result of the fact that people can now go out, because when we were at home and all of that, it kept dropping, the price kept dropping, and now that it's like everybody, and because nobody had where they were going to, so nobody had to buy fuel for their car. Even if you don't have lights, you just manage, because the main idea was, let us see what we're going to eat the next day. So people were asking these questions that, do you think that the increase in fuel is as a result of people now back on the road and now trying to hustle and find a means of livelihood, and that's the reason why it has increased? But still talking about Nupeng gives the federal government 2 weeks ultimatum over bad roads, and the Nigerian Union of Petroleum and Natural Gas Workers has given the federal government a 2 weeks ultimatum to rehabilitate the bad roads across the country. Now, Nupeng also asked the government to immediately address the issues of multiple roadblocks and extortions from all security agents or the union might be forced to embark on a serious industrial action to drive home their case. And the national president, that's Prince William's Adeburu, It says at the end of the union's virtual National Executive Council meeting, said, "We wish to urgently draw the attention of the federal government to the harrowing experiences of the owners of petroleum trucks in the country. The only means of moving petroleum products across the country is by roads. Using trucks, we can confidently tell you that this means of distribution is presently endangered and requires urgent federal government stimulus intervention funds to prevent it from total collapse." And there's been reports a lot of time of how people are saying that some of these trucks, when they are moving to to their point where they take the fuel and all of that, they get extorted by hoodlums. They collect money from them, and also the roads are bad. You can imagine, and because of how heavy these trucks are, they destroy the roads even more. So they are asking and telling the federal government that we need you to respond to us. We are giving you a 2-week ultimatum to fix the road. But I don't see how possible that is. I don't even see how.
Except you just want them to just pour some, just make it light again, where it will just be destroyed my heart and all that. Do you have a comment?
Yes, let me take this one from Udoji Akila. It says, "When it comes to security and diseases, we pray, but sharing of national wealth, they chop and clean mouth." So this is from Frank Chuksman. It says, "Nigeria, do the needful and leave God alone. God bless the entire world. Nigeria is not different."
I think I'm also seeing some positive comment like, "Nice one, Vanguard, keep it up," and all that. Thank you very much for that. And is that all the stories you have?
That's
okay. Okay, now that's all we have on the paper review for this morning. But before we go, let's just take a look at what Mr. and Mrs. are saying. And the first person talking today now is Mr. He says, dear, I don't like the look of this piece of goat's meat. Are you sure it was slaughtered in your presence? I hope the animal didn't have COVID-19. Mrs. replied, "I didn't check, but next time I will make sure the one slaughtered wore a face mask."
Okay.
What do you think about animal goats wearing face masks?
I think it's just their way of attacking each other and just bantering. But it's fine.
Yes, very, very fine. Okay, and that's all we have for you on Today in the News. Don't forget that you can always like and follow us on our social media platforms that are showing on your screen, or visit our social media platforms, and also visit our YouTube page. And you can always subscribe and share the videos to keep your friends, your neighbors, and families updated. And don't forget that you can always protect yourself, protect others, stop this virus by also advising people. The best thing is just to make people aware that protecting yourself is just the way to also protect others and your families. Stay safe, stay smart. Have a lovely weekend. It's bye from me, Damola Bushaki, and from my co-host.
Of course, thank you for watching.